It was Delroy's bodyguard, Luther, the one that was with Delroy at all times, dressed like that. And he was naked under the pink sheer robe, showing all his nappy hairs. She could see his chest, his belly, and lower still his ooh. Jasmine was frozen at the door. She was convinced at that moment that Luther was probably having some kind of Mardi Gras party with this D somebody in Delroy's suite without Delroy knowing anything about it. Jasmine knew Delroy would be furious if he found out. She thought it was best to try and make a hasty escape before Luther decided to maybe read a book or something and stepped out into the hallway. She was trying even more intently now to be as quiet as she possibly could, walking cat like to the stairs. Her foot was about to hit the top step when Jasmine heard Delroy's unmistakable laugh. Her foot froze in midair. She knew if she didn't see what was happening back there, she would spend a lifetime speculating. At 16, Jasmine Jackson had led such a sheltered existence. There had been only time for school, church, and choir rehearsals every Thursday evening. Only recently had the touring come in, but it was always to small, hot southern towns with enforced hotel curfews for both she and Persephone. Jasmine was a beauty in the truest sense of the word. Without a drop of makeup, she was beautiful. With makeup, she would dazzle. Tall, athletic body, the exact combination of genes had produced skin that looked like the finest of tan suede brushed against the grain when her skin was chilled in the cold Michigan winters. It glowed like a sandy beach in the warmer months. Couple that with her beautiful smile and dimpled chin, and most seemed to cater to her every whim, a service that Jasmine was unaware of. Being that it had happened throughout her life, she knew of no other existence. Delroy and the power he imposed over people somehow attracted Jasmine. When he first set his eyes on her, she had filtered with him. She had flirted with him just like the little schoolgirl she was. Maybe she didn't love so much as she admired the flamboyant Delroy. But whatever she felt for him before, all that disappeared the moment she witnessed the scene that was taking place in the master bedroom of that penthouse suite. Delroy Silvers himself was wearing a long blonde wig and nothing else, and he was sticking his dick in Luther's awaiting ass while he squeezed the tube of KY jelly, holding it chest high and delighting in the way it plopped down on the crack of Luther's ass. He let out an, "Ah, yeah, here we go now, Lulu. That is," and he kept licking his lips as if anticipating a delicious meal. The two were too engrossed to even know that Jasmine was standing in the doorway. As she stood there like a statue, she felt like her blood had turned to liquid metal, and she was sure she was going to be sick. She fled toward the bathroom, but by the time she reached that door, she had recovered enough to get out of there, not caring if she made any noise now. Maybe only his secretary knew Jasmine was coming. That would explain some things. Or maybe Delroy thought she would phone first. Or maybe there was life on Mars. Jasmine didn't care. She refused all of his calls. But she kept every expensive ring, the wallets, the clothes and coats and furs he gave her. Within 6 months of their breakup, Jasmine was married to the wild and fuck crazy Kevin McLaren, and the next 8 years of her life quickly turned the naive child into the street smart, no nonsense woman that Jasmine was today. As soon as she got the dishes washed, Jasmine decided on reheating the pizza she didn't finish 2 nights ago and took out her wallet containing the check. 25,000 marks. Now she could actually send for Persephone herself, and she wouldn't have any excuses if Jasmine was paying for the airline ticket. She knew if Persephone were there, they could start their own little soul singing corporation between the two of them alone. Jasmine could just see Persephone getting off the plane for the first time in her favorite big bulky coat with that beautiful dimple smile of hers and the body that hid the true Persephone that only Jasmine knew existed, the sweet, bashful, kind-hearted woman who Jasmine proudly called her sister. But other people, as soon as they saw her, labeled her fat. Jasmine took out her legal pad where she jotted down most her lyrics for future songs and started her letter to Persephone. She hoped it sounded convincing enough for Persephone to want to join her soon. She missed her big sister almighty.